dedicated to the brilliant, black, and bold transformational leaders. Today we're going to journey back down memory lane. Okay, y'all. My name is not Minnie Rippleton, and I can only sing about this much. But seriously, everybody, my name is Brigitte Jackson. I'm a behavioral wealth strategist, and we're going to be diving into emotional intelligence. But we're going to do it today through the lens of the brilliant, the black, and the bold. And guess what? We're going to be getting inspired by two incredible Black history figures, Fred Hampton and Mark Clark. Imagine the late 1960s. It was a tumultuous era where racial tension and injustice thrived. Kind of like today. We have Chairman Fred Hampton, who is the leader of the Black Panther Party, and he envisioned a revolutionary transformation. He believed in the power of the people through unity, empathy, and emotional intelligence as tools to dismantle systematic oppression. Hampton's visions wasn't just about rebellion. It was about building a community that was empowered through understanding and compassion. His emotional intelligence allowed him to connect with people from diverse backgrounds, transcending the barriers of prejudice. And that right there made him a target for the FBI. Now let's intertwine Hampton's legacy with another unsung hero. My uncle, Defense Captain Mark Clark, founder of the Peoria, Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party. Clark and Hampton both, they sought to revolutionize not just the system, but the way and how we lead. These two heroic leaders, unfortunately, died December 4th, 1969. But their impact still lives on. You see it when you see me. My Uncle Mark's journey was one of resilience, strength, and tenacity. They both showed emotional intelligence, and it's a superpower. It is the skill that empowers leaders to navigate complex challenges with grace. So I know you might be saying, Black Panther Party and grace, those two words don't even go together. They were radical. Absolutely. But they did have grace. It involved a self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, motivation, and effective communication. Both Hampton and Clark exemplified this type of leadership, that they valued emotional intelligence as a cornerstone of their revolutionary efforts. They were self-aware of the authority they had to have and command, the work that had to be done, and the risk they were taking to fulfill it. Picture this. My mother, Mark Clark's 20-year-old sister, dreamed he died just weeks before he was assassinated. Knowing what she saw, she pleaded and she begged with him not to go to the Illinois chapter and work. But he emphatically told her no, as he pointed in the floor at my 1-year-old cousin and 3-year-old Brigitte and said, I have to do this. Why? Because he had a why that was greater than him. It was his niece and his nephew and the Black people that he loved so much. Who knows that they will die, but still choose to transformatively lead? My uncle, that's who. Fred Hampton was only 21 and Mark Clark was only 22, but they showed self-regulation. They knew the cost of their emotions and their behavior. Discipline defined them. They spent a mandatory 2 hours of reading every day. Every day. Do we know leaders that have that type of discipline and that type of control today? Empathy anchored their actions. They were committed to service, even as teenagers. They were leaders in the NAACP, Hampton in Chicago, and my Uncle Mark in Peoria. The Black Panthers Party survival program, like the health clinics and the consumer education and the GED training, those were direct community needs. That was empathy in action. In 2019, I authored a children's picture book that commemorated the 50th anniversary of their deaths. And we talk about the breakfast program. Did you know that the Panthers fed upwards of 40 100,000 children in the late 1960s. Now, that was before America's free breakfast program. That was empathy. They both were motivational, but just in their own ways. As extreme execution coach, under the leadership of Dr. Eric Thomas, we give our clients this flight assessment. It's like the DISC assessment. And so it helps us understand people's personalities. And if I was to analyze Chairman Fred and my Uncle Mark, Chairman Fred would definitely be the I, or the interactive type. My uncle would be the grounds crew, or the stabilizing personality. Now, if you've ever seen Chairman Fred speak, you can hear the magnetic way that he pulls people in and he garners people's attention with his charismatic ways. My Uncle Mark, he was not charismatic. He was one of them stay in the shadow type of guys. We don't even have photos of him as a family in his leadership because he liked being behind the scenes. He was the glue that helped people together. Lastly, these two gentlemen had excellent communication skills. They were great orators. Effective leadership is about expressing yourself, but it's also about impacting with your communication. They both did that. They both had emotional intelligence. They connected with community pain. They turned anger into activism, and they forged alliances with diverse people. It went beyond protest. Okay? So let's make this practical. And let's integrate how emotional intelligence can help us in our journey. First, begin with self-awareness. Grasp how to deal with your emotions to make decisions. What is your personality style? Self-regulate by managing your urgency and connecting your core values. Be empathetic and step into other people's shoes and make connections. Self-motivation should drive us to resiliency and foster a growth mindset. Additionally, communication is going to bring it all together. Create an all-encompassing space where social skills are valued. As leaders today, we can draw on their inspiration. We can gather from their legacy. When we're faced with harsh conditions, let emotional intelligence guide our ways with insight, responsiveness, and a commitment to positive change. Transformational leaders, let me tell you, I'm finna call you out. I need you to be in the spirit of the brilliant, the black, and the bold. Are you willing? It's time for us to unlock greatness through emotional intelligence. Inspired by Chairman Fred Hampton's immortal words, you can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill the revolution. Let's embody this revolution like trailblazers, Chairman Fred Hampton, and my uncle, Defense Captain Mark Clark. Thanks for going back down memory lane. And as Les Brown said it best, your ability to communicate is an asset in a world hungry for your voice. So be the architects of change, leading with our hearts, making emotional intelligence not just a skill, but a way of life. Let emotional intelligence be your guide on this innovative leadership path, shaping a future that came from the wisdom of our past leaders. Everybody, my name is Brigitte Brown Jackson, and I am a behavior wealth strategist.